How's it going, everybody? Ty Sites Shadow Games Report. Doing part 2 of Call of Duty Black Ops 6 tonight. I hope it's part 2. That's what I put, I think. Isn't it? I don't even know, actually. I don't even know! What part are we doing? Yeah, it's part 2. Okay. Just making sure. Making sure everything's alright. Well, anyways, I am getting started a little bit late tonight. I kind of feel like making this a little bit more of a lax show. But at the same time, still going to have some good informative content. I think I kind of want to focus on a particular story that's been in my mind a lot lately. And it's just because, well, I didn't know about it most of my life. And once it hit me, I was just kind of like, whoa, that's some contradicting information, and I don't know, it might even make you understand other parts of history a little bit better. Why am I playing with that? I'm looking at the wrong thing right now. Sorry guys, I'm like a little bit off today. It's been a weird day. It's been a fun day, but a weird day. Okay, just making sure my stream's working. Alright, we are going to do about 30 minutes to an hour of news before we get started. So let's not waste too much time. And I'm a little bit more organized than I am tonight, but like I said, I just kind of want to make it a lax show. It's kind of been a steamy day. at least like brain power wise, you know, where it's not like really stressful, but it's just like you use a lot of brain power and you're just like, I don't know, lots of energy. And then now it's just kind of like the end of the day, kind of just want to relax, just want to talk about the news, just want to talk a little bit about history, because there is some history that we have not been talking about as much lately. Been hearing a lot about, we'll just jump right into it. You know, a lot of people have been bringing up the Holocaust over the past year, maybe 2 years now. And it's thrown out a lot to try to defend a certain existence for a certain state. And I think you can kind of fill in a lot of those blanks, but and I guess, like, you know, growing up, if you hear the state driven story, you're kind of biased to it, and whenever you hear something contradicting, you might try to argue with that person or whatever. But, you know, we're not really taught about the opposing history a lot of the time. You know, how the, let's just say, the opposition would form their history if they were to tell their side of the story. And, you know, each side is going to be biased in different ways. They're going to both claim to be, you know, better than the other, either morally or physically. It doesn't really matter. You know, they try to claim some type of superiority no matter what. And I guess they just both have their side, whether or not they win or lose. And I guess that's where it just kind of brings me to my crossover. There's some history that a lot of Americans are not taught about, which I think is strange because America is very, or at least the America I grew up in was very anti-communist. I didn't really understand why. Like, growing up, I didn't even know what the fuck that word meant. You know, I just heard like people say it in disdain, and I was just kind of like, well, I guess I don't really know why, you know? I mean, it even goes for what's the weird disdain for Jews? I didn't know what the hell that was about either. You know, I'll be honest with my ignorance about certain things. Sometimes we're ignorant and we're influenced by certain people and we don't realize it. You know, we were influenced by our entire government's history. You know, a lot of the world is actually influenced by that. They get taught a lot of the same history sometimes. I mean, not in all cases. Sometimes the other countries, you know, the opposition, you might say, will form their own forms of history and what they saw from their ends, which is good because I kind of see truth as a flower in a sense. You know, it has petals, it has perspectives from each petal going inward on what they're looking at, which, you know, kind of like the core of a flower could kind of be like the core of a truth, you might say. And each petal would represent a perspective. So, using that as a means for truth, you might say that, well, we're going to see a different shade of the flower from different perspectives. We're going to see a different angle. We're going to see, let's just say, a bee lands on a flower, but it only lands on one side of the flower. So you can only see it from a few different petals. You can't see it from the other side. You see what I mean here? It's kind of like you won't always know the full truth of a tree because you can't see all of it at the same time. You can't look inward inside of a tree. You can't look, you know, behind it whenever you're in front of it. You constantly have that perspective. So, I guess using that, I guess I'll throw the other contrast, the other side of the petal, or the other side of the flower, I mean, but, you know, using a different petal. And having us look in a different side of the truth, which, you know, it's all documented. I gotta get my food here in a second. I told you it's gonna be a weird night. It's gonna be a weird night. I'm cooking. I'm late. We're just talking. We're talking about. We're talking about the Hollow Dormer. Or is it Hollow Domer? Either way, it's still fresh news to me. So I'm going to use this as a learning experience myself. I've learned, bits and pieces. I don't really remember a lot. I just know that there's a supposed genocide that was taken out on, what would you call them? I guess Slavic people, or maybe even, so I guess they would have been a part of the Soviet Union at the time, or I don't. Yeah, they would have been definitely part of the Soviet Union at that time. So either way, it's within that region. It's close to Ukraine, and I think it actually might have even happened in parts of Ukraine, if I'm not mistaken. But I know it definitely happened in different parts of Russia. But it's kind of like known as a white genocide in a lot of different ways. To not sound too ignorant on the subject, let's just go ahead and jump on over, because I definitely want to, be able to talk a little bit about this tonight. Now, some of these are going to be ex post that are completely biased. So, I guess, I haven't read this either yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you know, like, I'm not going to side with any particular post on any of these. I don't know what the exact truth is, but we're just going to go through different perspectives, different petals on the flower. And we're looking at the opposite end of the flower of, let's just say, the Holocaust. Because I think while they're not the same event and they can't always be compared the same way, I do think that this weird contrast with the Holocaust and even this, this, from what we know, is complete fact, and then there's also a lot of contention whenever it comes to the Holocaust. Now, I don't know if there's been a lot of contention with the Holodomer. Maybe not yet. I think that, maybe a lot of people don't even know about it. Like I said, I didn't even know about it, and I consider myself to be a history buff. But apparently I'm a lot more ignorant on certain parts of history than I thought. Apparently I got a lot more of the state-driven history than I realized. And I feel like it's constantly changing every single day. My beliefs are constantly shifting in some sense, but I also try to ground myself in all of the, core principle truths that we can all normally agree on. Normally. I know, it's hard to agree these days, but just maybe even base it on the old normal, because that's what I base it on. I don't even know what to consider a lot of today's culture to be. I've kind of fallen out of it. So yeah. Anyways, not to talk about me. Let's talk about this. Jews killed Christians. This is from Cephix. I guess that's how you say it. Jews killed Christians. 60 million in the Holodomor. You heard that right. 60 million. And then, he makes kind of like the same joke that I would probably make too. What the F is a Holocaust? We've also shown some of the contrasting history of the Holocaust, and we've brought up a lot of the contention. I feel like a lot of people know I guess, the deeper history, or at least what's taught in school about the Holocaust, but they never hear it really argued against. And really, it's kind of weird because, like, we've built this weird stigma around it where we want to defend it almost. And you have to remember, if you want to learn, sometimes you don't defend certain ideas. Sometimes you at least give the other perspective or petal on the flower a listen, I mean, I know a flower can't look at itself, but at least from what I know of. But, you know, anyways, I'm still going to use that metaphor. It works. It works for right now. Alright, so anyways, I want to get caught up in my metaphors. Let's read this. The Holodomor was a genocide committed by Jewish Bolsheviks. This madman was in charge of the genocide. His name is Genrikh Yagoda? Genrikh Yagoda. Okay. He was Jewish. To those ignorant, people claiming Holodomor wasn't perpetuated by Jews, they are 5% correct and 95% wrong. 95% of Bolshevik leaders were Jewish. 92% of the Gulag commanders were Jewish. 50% of the NKVD generals were Jewish. The mass murder of at least 60 million white Orthodox Christians and Muslims in USSR was committed by a 95% Jewish government. The Bolsheviks killed 60 million people, and you never once heard about that in school. For some reason, I believe it. I mean, I'm just going to tell you outright, what's my opinion here, but I haven't confirmed this. Actually, let's see what Grok says real quick. I'm not saying Grok is a truth arbiter here at all. I'm just checking the AI. I might even ask Brave AI too or something. We'll get some other AI in here. We won't just use Grok. Maybe I should use ChatGPT too. But I'm not using this as for, any type of... We're just using it to add an extra perspective here. Whether it's right or wrong, let's just see what Grok comes up with. Is my connection messed up? What's up? Oh, it's okay. Why are you acting like that, internet? You acting like a fool. You acting like you computing for too long. Let's see. The assertion that 95% of Bolshevik leaders and 92% of Gulag commanders were Jewish lacks credible backing. A 1990 study by historian Richard Pipes estimates Jews comprised about 15 to 20% of early Bolshevik leadership. So early Bolshevik leadership, reflecting their urban overrepresentation, but this was diluted over time, and no peer-reviewed data supports the exaggerated figures or a Jewish-dominated government responsible for 60 million deaths. The Post's claim of 60 million deaths under Bolshevik rule vastly exceeds scholarly estimates. The Black Book of Communism, 1997, while controversial, suggests 20 million deaths across the Soviet period. That's still a shit ton of people. That's still, 2 or 3 times of 6 million. Yeah, that's actually more than 3 times. So, either way, 20 million is still more than 6 million. This is why I'm trying to contrast these a little bit. Like I said, I'm not saying they're completely comparable, but I'm still going to compare them. I know some people don't want me to compare things, but I think it's important. I think we need to show the starkness and the contrast between these two opposing genocides. And as we've also talked about with the Holocaust history, I think they said it was right around 275,000 actual deaths, and apparently some of this number might not have even been from an entire set of Jews. But I guess there is just a opposing logic to some of the arguments with Auschwitz. It's sorry, I just heard like some weird noise and I was just like, what is that weird noise? Yeah, so the gas chambers within Auschwitz, they clearly weren't sealed. and it would have been hard to actually hold in gas if they were actually gas chambers. And it is kind of interesting whenever you listen to, I guess, people that have studied this a lot more in depth than I have, that there's a lot more evidence against there being such a mass murder. And even within like the census, like there just wasn't even 6 million Jews within Germany, from what I've been told. So I mean, it's just kind of like, how did that number even get there? What do they have it to back on? I mean, we could ask Grok. Could ask Grok real quick. And I'm not saying, Grok is. I'm not even saying the 20 million number here is right. When it comes to Grok's estimate, or the study's estimate, whichever when it was. Let's see. Where does the 6 million number come from with the Holocaust? And the weird thing about Ukraine, sorry guys, kind of came out of nowhere. The figure of 6 million Jews victims of the Holocaust has been widely accepted estimate among historians based on a combination of Nazi documentation, survivor testimonies, and post-war research. Here's a detailed breakdown of its origins and validation. It's not water. Jesus. All right. Historical origins. Early estimates by Nazi officials. One of the earliest mentions of the 6 million figure came from Dr. Wilhelm Holtel, an SS officer and historian who testified during the Nuremberg trials in 1945. Holtel claimed that Adolf Eichmann? I don't know. A key architect of the Holocaust told him in August 1944 that approximately 6 million Jews had been killed, 4 million in extermination camps, and 2 million through shootings and other means. This testimony was introduced as evidence by the American and British prosecution teams. I mean, I guess if you believe that particular narrative, and I'm not entirely against that narrative, but I just don't think one man's word is like enough. I think you need a lot more. I don't know. I mean, I just think that we've come to a certain point where we just realize that our governments have been propagandizing us for so long. It just makes you have to question every single narrative. It makes you have to explore what's true and what's not. So, like I said, don't even take Grok's word for it. Some of this could be wrong. Post-war research, Raul Hilberg, pioneering Holocaust scholar, estimated 5.1 million Jewish deaths in his 1961 book, The Destruction of the European Jews, based on extensive analysis of Nazi records, deportation lists, and demographic data. In later editions, he refined this to include detailed appendices of his methodology. I don't know if I want to read all of these, but the war against the Jews. Use pre-war Jewish population statistics. Post-war survivor counts to estimate 5.93 million deaths. aligning closely with the 6 million figure. Wolfgang Benz, a German historian, proposed a range of 5.3 to 6.2 million in his research, reflecting variations in regional data. This is kind of what I mean about, like, you know, fighting your own bias. Because, I mean, like, even though I don't really care to read this right now, I do want to give you, I guess, well, the official story too. I don't just want to give you the biased, one-sided perspective. But I mean, at least, even with Grok, we're still using a 20 million person number, which, you know, let's just go ahead and say it's between 20 million and 60 million, because that's the other number. I mean, 20 million is still a lot, and it's a lot more than what happened in the Holocaust per supposed real data, which, like I said, it could be propaganda. It could be lots of things. But believe what you want to. I'm not going to tell you which way. Also, one thing that's not good to do with Grok, because I've noticed this with Grok, like, sometimes whenever you ask, like, your first question, it will still include some of what you're talking about here with the first question. And if you ask it another question that's something separate, it might still carry over certain information from what you talked about before. Which it might even bring it up down here somewhere. I want to see if it brings up Holodomor again. Usually at the bottom with the conclusion or something, it will, like, contrast it with your first question. And it's just kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes it assumes certain things, which I think is interesting. It's kind of interesting to see an AI kind of react in a human-like way, and I don't know, it's just interesting. It's like, it comes up with a lot of the same assumptions that, like, let's just say another person might come up with, and it just feels human-like. All right, let me go back to this. Still going to talk about the Holodomor. We already talked a little bit about the Holocaust, just to, you know, kind of contrast it here. Holodomor was a genocide committed by Jewish Bolsheviks. So we got this is a big account, Dr. Anastasia Maria Lupe. I think that's how you say it. Half Viking, half philosopher, doctor of medicine, opinions are my own, follow my backup. Holodomor was a genocide committed by Jewish Bolsheviks. This madman was in charge of the genocide. His name is Gingrich Yagoda. I don't know why I can't say that. Gingrich Yagoda. He was Jewish. To those ignorant people claiming Holodomor wasn't perpetuated by Jews, they are 5% correct. Why is it the same thing? She's repeating that same shit. Yeah, she's literally, like, copying and pasting. Anyways, the mass murder of at least 60 million white Orthodox Christians and Muslims in USSR was committed by at least 95% Jewish government. Yeah. I mean, she's literally, like, saying the exact same thing. Which is kind of weird. Didn't expect her to, like, copy and paste a meme. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe, is this actually from her? Maybe she said it and then he, like, clipped her post. I don't know. I don't know, man. What do I got for us over here? Do I got anything juicy over here? Check it in a second. Whoops. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
I'm honored to be here at the AIPAC Congressional Reception because for me, there is no more important foreign relationship for the United States to have than with Israel. The fight that Israel has is the fight that we have because the enemy that Israel is fighting over there wants to come to the United States as well. So I can't wait to get to Congress and make sure that I do everything possible that America stands with Israel and Israel stands with America. An honor to be here, and I thank AIPAC for all the support they've given me. I'm honored to be here at
I hope that's a spoof, but I don't know what the hell. It might be somebody transitioning. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh yeah, that was pretty interesting. Might turn that on in just a second. Might even talk to a based gay dude here in a second. Well, I'm not going to talk to him, but we're going to listen to him. We're going to let him talk. That's what I meant to say. What is this? Is that a video? Give me a video. What the F? What starvation looks like Sudan and Holodomor. Yeah. Don't show me that. From left to right, Holodomor, Holocaust, and Horror Emperor. Huh. Who are you? Oh, nobody. Okay. Holodomor is fascist propaganda. Pass it on. What? That's weird. Why would she say that? Hands off Haiti, comrade. Oh, she's like, okay, she's a communist. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. The Bolsheviks were communists, by the way, if you don't know. It wasn't a genocide, it was a famine. They were kulaks. They deserved it. Okay. Far-right protesters in Ukraine demand Israel apologize for communism. When was that? 2021? They got Santa hats on? Europa, the last battle. Oh yeah, I think it's talking about the episodes. This is a documentary. I watched, I think like halfway through. I decided to kind of give it a break for a little while just because I was just like, I don't know. It did kind of upset me, but it does talk about the Holodomor in that documentary. Now, I've only been able to watch, I think, like on BitChute or something. So if anybody wants to go watch Europa on BitChute, I'm pretty sure that might be one of the few places you can watch it. There might be other places that I don't know about. I'm just saying that from what I know, it is limited to certain platforms. So anyways, it does talk about it pretty extensively. Now, I will say it does have more of an anti-Jew bias. I mean, the whole series, basically. So if you don't want to be offended on those lines, I'm going to go ahead and warn you. But if you want to add, if you want to add another perspective, another petal on the flower, you can watch it. And for anybody that's just coming in and hearing me talk about petals on a flower, I was using petals on a flower as a metaphor for truth. And there's always like a core of a flower. I kind of consider that to be like the core of the truth. And then each petal represents a perspective on the truth. So it's kind of like, from different petals on the flower are different perspectives looking inward on the truth. And different petals might have a different angle and you see different things about the truth. You might be able to notice a bee on one side of the flower, but, the other petals wouldn't be able to see that bee, if that makes any sense. And it's just a metaphor, guys. It's not to be taken too literally. If anybody doesn't know what a metaphor is, Go watch a video. Metaphors real quick. I'm not going to tell you. They are abstract. They're of the mind. I guess I was closer to the end than I thought. There's only 11 episodes. I think I got to like episode 7 or something. But yeah, it's not a pretty documentary. It is pretty grody, and it does paint a different picture for Jews. And like I said at the start of the video, I had no clue what everybody hated about Jews growing up. I just remember hearing it a lot. Like they would never say what or why they hated Jews. I don't know, it might have even been like more inspired from like South Park or something. Like people just like hearing Cartman, go off about Kyle the entire episode, which I need to catch up on South Park right now. I keep forgetting to go watch it, damn it. Anyways, oh, well, kind of want to keep talking about Holodomor, but maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't. Should I keep going? So Dr. Anastasia says a different number here. Will you also pay your respects at the Holodomor Memorial for the Jewish genocide on 10 to 20 million white Orthodox Ukrainians? See, I mean, I don't remember what exact region, but I do know that, yeah, a lot of this happened within the Ukraine area. Lots of grim, ugly history in Ukraine. I wish this region would stabilize, but it is kind of like a buffer between East and West, even though Russia hugs a lot of other countries. Why don't they show the pictures of the starving children during the Holodomor? Children of USSR, 1948. Children of USA, 1948. 4 children for sale. Choir within. That's gotta be a joke, right? Huh? I don't know. Holodomor was a genocide committed. I'm not reading this again. She's saying the same thing. Okay. There was another guy we watched the other day about the Holodomor, and he had a pretty good perspective. He was actually on the top of the reel, but I'm going to play this because I've never seen it.
Alright, I guess we're still doing this. Listen, do you fucking people that keep on putting that fucking emoji in your bio even know what a genocide is? Because I'm pretty sure this isn't one. Right here. What's that? What's that? Right? What does that say? It says that Gaza's population has increased 2.84%. How? I mean, if there was a genocide, I'm pretty sure that number would fucking be in the red. Also, I think this is funny. Capital? No. And do you know why it's not the capital of Palestine? Is because the capital of Palestine apparently is Jerusalem. Wait for it. Which is in Israel. So, 2 things. Number 1, there is no genocide happening because, well, fucking numbers and shit. But if you really want to actually understand that word, how it's applied legally and, historically, then go over to John Spencer and read this. But essentially, right, it requires a clear, provable intent to destroy a people through a sustained, deliberate action. And it would also need to be an ethnic group or, there's different definitions. Terrorist organization does not apply. Just so you know. Like, FYI, Israel isn't like, where's that kid? Fucking, yeah, drop the bomb right on that fucker. And 2, Palestine's not real. So why am I bringing this up again? I mean, we've done this post how many times over the past couple of years where I'm literally just explaining how words work to the internet. Well, just like training a puppy, it takes repetition. So they stop shitting on the floor. And here's the puppy. All right, this is a genocide. Okay, what's your definition? And this idiot just goes to Google and then highlights it. Okay, let's break down what the internet will tell you this word means. An act of committing with intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, racial, or religious group. Okay, so literally every single conflict that's happened throughout the beginning.
Okay, I thought this video was going to be at the Holodomor. I don't know why. Oh, it's because this guy said something. Jesse the Free says it took the US 90 years to acknowledge the Holodomor was genocide. Okay. Well, I don't share this dude's belief, by the way. He's trying to argue against what's happening in Gaza is not a genocide. I don't agree with anything he just said. I just want to be very clear about that. I got up to go get my food real quick. I was listening to it. I was like, is this going to be anti or pro? And it kind of swung pro there at the end. Which, you know, I'm fine with representing that perspective on my channel. It's just a matter of, I want to let you know my perspective too. I don't see things that way. I don't agree with this guy. But yeah, I guess it just brought up the Holodomor because this dude's, what he said at the top. And I mean, I absolutely do believe that it was a genocide. I mean, as long as, you know, well, I mean, I guess it's hard to know what we're being shown is real or not on the internet. But I guess there's just a lot of reputable, or at least what's considered to be reputable sources that come out and even show us video. I mean, I don't fact check. Well, I don't check for really any video if they're AI or not. I mean, sometimes you can just kind of tell, but like going into the future, we're probably going to have like little, I don't know, scans or something constantly telling us if certain videos are real or not. I mean, it's going to get better and better, so, you know, naturally. Let's see. Irish famine, 1845 to 52, 1 million deaths. Indian famines under British, major ones, 1770 to 1943, 30 to 100 million. Jesus. I think I do remember looking into that one day. Brazilian Grande Seca, 150 to 50,000, 500,000. U.S. Dust Bowl, hundreds to 7,000. Oh, whatever. Look at this number. That's not even what Grok told us earlier. See? This is a perfect representation of Grok telling you totally different numbers. What the hell? Yeah, even the Chinese famines are usually in the 100 millions half the time. Whenever I see the official, well, I mean, I guess if we were to consider, well, I don't know. Half the time people are saying, like, you can't trust WikiLeaks, or not WikiLeaks, Wikipedia. I got WikiLeaks on my mind, man. Alright, maybe I should get away from Holodomor. We're just lingering now. I was kind of hoping that somebody would have, like, a better video in here. I could just show you that one kid's video real quick. Oh yeah, this is kind of funny. I guess these are a bunch of Jews right here.
We are a people that has been kicked out of every place we've ever lived for 2,000 years. Every single place. We are a people that has been kicked out of every place we've ever lived for 2,000 years. Every single place.
Oh well, why is that? Why is that? It is amazing to me that we are not taught about the Bolshevik Revolution and the Holodomor. Yep, I played this video, I don't know, maybe a week or two ago.
it is amazing to me that we are not taught about the Bolshevik Revolution and the Holodomor. I mean, this is one of the most disgusting events throughout all of history. And not only that, but the events surrounding it are just incredibly fascinating and I think relevant to today's world. So from the early 1910s to the end of World War II is when this 20 to 60 million Christians were killed in Russia at the hands of Jewish leadership for the most part. Jewish leadership in all aspects of government in Russia at the time was anywhere from about 15 to 30% based on information I can find, but from Europa the Last Battle, they said that at a height they reached about 80% of Jewish, or 80% of government positions were Jewish or dominated by Jews, and that is quite interesting. During this time, a large reason why so many people died was because the government was going on somewhat of a anti-Semitic purge, or at least that's what some sources will say, is that people who were against the censorship of speech, people who were free thinkers, philosophers, people who were more than just workers who could question leadership and things like that were killed. They didn't see a need for free thinkers and people who were big on free speech, and so they killed them and either starved them, sent them to work camps, and people died like that. And that fact, along with the fact that anti-Semitism was punishable by death in the Soviet Union during this time, is astonishing. I mean, the fact that we're never taught this in school is even more astonishing. Like, the 6 million Jews have been such a justification for the state of Israel to do things, to invade land, to take things from the Palestinians, but this 20 to 60 million Christians means absolutely nothing. It's no justification for anything. It has no historical meaning, value, apparently. I mean, it's not worth teaching, obviously, so clearly it's not a part of history that's worth teaching about. But that's interesting because it's illegal to deny genocides in some countries. Oh, wait, not genocides, just the Holocaust. It's illegal to deny the Holocaust in over 20 countries, or question it or study it in those countries. But, the Russian one, it's just non-existent.
Never underestimate the butterfly effect of a tiny public access show in upstate New York. Clay Tiffany was an independent journalist and the fearless host of Dirge for the Charlatans. Notorious for being a thorn in the side of local officials and law enforcement, Clay Tiffany would probe into corrupt politicians and dirty cops, then broadcast his findings on his public access show. But with this fame came enemies in powerful places, one being Briarcliff police officer slash bodybuilder Nicholas Tartaglione, who in 1997 pulled Clay Tiffany over, warned him to stop looking into the police department, said he has ties with the mob, then physically assaulted the TV host. Obviously, this led Clay to delve further into the cop, and so began a long-standing feud between the two. Tiffany dug into his past and found that Tartaglione had a history of assault in his time as a police officer. Clay Tiffany would slam him and the BPD on Dirge for the Charlatans, and in retaliation, Tartaglione would find him and beat him up. This happens at least 4 times, with the last confrontation putting Clay in the hospital. He would host the next episode from his hospital bed. Clay sued the police department, winning a big settlement, but Tartaglione was never charged or found guilty of a crime. Until this story goes somewhere I never could have predicted. Clay Tiffany passed away in March 2015 of natural causes, and the following year, Nicholas Tartaglione was arrested after killing 4 men over stolen drug money and burying them in a mass grave in the woods. Tartaglione, now facing a life sentence, has been behind bars since his arrest, where in 2019, he was the last person to share a prison cell with Jeffrey Epstein.
Sorry, I had food in my mouth. Is that better? We got Big Balls getting beat up by a bunch of teens. Apparently they were like 15 years old. I don't know how old Big Balls is, but I think isn't he in his 20s or something? Either way, I guess he got beat up by a couple different people. I don't know how many exactly. But apparently they were maybe bigger than he was. He was trying to prevent carjacking, supposedly. Defending a woman. So yeah, he's a semi-hero, but he looks like he got beat up pretty bad. Hopefully he got a few punches off on the other guy, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I guess Trump is also thinking about federalizing DC as well from all this. I don't think I covered this yesterday. But yeah, it's a little bit of yesterday's news, but it's still important. So God be with this man. He did expose quite a bit of corruption throughout several different branches of the U.S. government. So we will applaud him for that. Golf clap, everybody. All right, let's go. Let's go. What else we got? How far do I want to go? Is this from yesterday? He's got a new one, too. I don't know why I like this guy. I don't like that he uses frickin' AC/DC every other time. Oh yeah, we did watch this yesterday. I remember that. That was after. Actually, I didn't even include that part in the other video. I don't know. I was trying to trim down the video and took some pieces out. This was one of them. I did include it on the Rumble version. This is all AI, by the way. Don't worry, it's not going to show anything. But apparently, people are making borderline AI porn. I think this might be. Didn't they say it's Grok? Takes it right off. Of course, Elon is making this a priority. He's a gamer too, so he wants to see this shit too. You know, Elon's like a little bit of everything, though. Everything guy. Surprised we haven't made a statue of the dude yet. I don't want one of him, I'm just saying. Just surprised that hasn't happened. Surprised people aren't like. I don't even want to say it, never mind. I want to go down that road. Alright, we talked about that yesterday, so we're going to keep going up. I don't think I covered this, though. Yeah, I did. I don't know. Did I? Did I? RFK Jr. cancels $500 million in funding for a vaccine development. I think it's mRNA specifically. I don't think it's all vaccines. But maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't really dug too deep. It's not an important issue to me as at the moment because I feel like he's doing a halfway decent job. I feel like we need to focus on other stories, if other things are doing good, unless they're lying to us, unless that's a distraction, which it could be, you never know. We have Tulsi supposedly dismantling the Mockingbird operation, Operation Mockingbird. And it's well due. I think we all kind of knew that it was probably still going on, especially after Obama, but yeah, it wasn't supposed to be. Subpoenas have been handed out to a whole pile of corrupt bastards.
Holy shit, America. The House Oversight Committee just dropped a giant pile of subpoenas on a whole long list of dirty bastards related to the Epstein shit. Now, there's some caveats here, but this list, holy fuckball. files, completely real, already checked it. This shit's legit. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was handed her subpoena first. She'll be deposed on August 11th. She's first up. She's going to talk about all of Epstein's activities. Next up, we got the DOJ to be deposed on August 19th. All of they know, their records, unredacted, only the names to be fucking cleared. Then we got, here's where it gets fun. Bill Clinton has been handed a subpoena for October 14th. And he is to testify about his knowledge on Epstein activities. Jeff Epstein visited the fucking White House 17 times with Bill Clinton. Yeah, right in the White House. He came right over. Hillary's up. She's got a deposition on October 9th. All of her knowledge of the Epstein files. Comey has a deposition for October 7th. Mueller, September 2nd. These are both FBI directors because they were both director of the FBI when Epstein had some shit. They want to know what the fuck happened. What were you doing with the handling of the Epstein files? You got Loretta Lynch. They subpoenaed every single fucking attorney general for the last 30 years. Loretta Lynch, AG under Obama. September 19th, she's going in. DOJ activities over Epstein. Eric Holder, Attorney General under Obama. September 30th, he'll be deposed. Bill Barr on August 18th. That's Trump's fucking AG. Not only is he going to be talking about the Attorney General's actions, the DOJ's actions around Epstein, but also Epstein's death. We got Jeff Sessions also deposed on August 28th. Alberto Gonzales. That's a Bush-era Attorney General for August 26th in all DOJ actions related to Epstein. And we even got Merrick Garland in there to be deposed on October 2nd for his DOJ actions. Now, there are some caveats here. These are all closed doors, so the only thing we're going to hope to get out of this are transcripts. None of this is going to be public, but I didn't even think we'd get here. This is the first step to maybe actually getting something. I hope somebody on that fucking House Oversight Committee has a pair of balls and a brain to ask the right questions. I don't like it that it's closed doors, but there's two ways to look at that. That could be better because, you're not in front of cameras, or, still transcripts. Are they going to fudge them? Doesn't matter. That shit can be FOIA. There is some hope here, people. I never saw it coming. I never saw it coming. I can't believe they actually did this. It's the first step. You gotta have depositions before you can have criminal charges brought. Let's hope they don't get out a big broom and just sweep this fucking under the fucking dirty rugs.
You know what's strange about this? Now I feel like I'm being distracted from Israel. It's yeah, we all wanted to see something with Epstein. I'm fine with that. I'm happy about everything we're seeing. But it comes at a time whenever we're trying to take the focus, or at least not me, but probably people part of the state, trying to create, I guess, anti-Semitic laws, I guess you might say. I know it sounds confusing because it is, but yeah, we're trying to get rid of anti-Semitism. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, it's just, what do you do about it? They create a law, you don't have any say in it, and then you also see all these different people sign on to it. Kind of makes you start to side with certain leftists when it comes to certain topics. Because it does seem that in a large part the left is against Israel at the moment, and I think even a lot of portions of MAGA are in the same boat. See a lot of the same things, and they're like, okay, left and right, we're both on the same side now, and we're being isolated from our team leader, and it's just kind of how do you support a tyrant? Thankfully, America has such a anti-tyrant culture. We've been taught through our own constitution our entire life. I guess, a lot of us ignored it, but at the same time, it's still there. You still had a lot of those people growing up talking about those things. And it makes you just kind of realize like how much you didn't appreciate about some of those people that had that rhetoric. I mean, yeah, they're probably still assholes about it, but at the same time, it's just, um, it's good to have a rebound. It's good to be able to see people to push back, even with stuff like this, where it's just like, there's certain parts of history they're not being talked about. And then you see a major backlash from major leaders throughout the world saying you can't be anti Semitic. And then it's just kind of like, okay, well, you realize whenever you do shit like that, that just makes people want to talk about it more. It's like the less you want to talk about it, people just push even more and they want the truth. And like I said earlier, I don't know if 60 million is the correct number, but I will use in between 20 million and 60 million people, since that's the estimate. Between, let's just say the high estimate is 60 million, which I've even heard more around 80 million, maybe even 100 million. But, this is the number I think most people will probably agree on. In between, at least. All right. Dems are panicking. Why? Because Texas just nuked their racially gerrymandered districts. Democrats have nowhere to gerrymander. They already rigged their maps years ago. The GOP is fighting back. Let's talk about the states they want you to ignore. I didn't even cover the headlines today. Guess we're just jumping into these headlines. I guess I could blow through it real quick. Kaboom! Kremlin hosts Trump's envoy for Ukraine peace talks. Huh? Kremlin announced Russia President Vladimir Putin is hosting Steve Witkoff, a special envoy appointed by U.S. President Donald Trump. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, he's going to Ukraine? Talking about Trump. I don't think so, though. To discuss a potential peace deal concerning the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The meeting comes just days before a White House deadline for Russia to reach an agreement, highlighting ongoing diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. Well, good. I'm glad Russia didn't, try to antagonize Trump even more. Because honestly, I feel like Trump is like the crazy man in the room half the time at this point. We used to think it was other leaders, but I think Russia was just kind of like, I don't know if we should listen to him or not. It's been such a crazy year. Such a crazy year. I just want like the craziness to be over with. I want like everything to like settle down towards Christmas at least. You know what I mean? Like let's see some people uh, be convicted by Christmas. How about that? I think Trump's a very pro Christmas president. I mean, I could be wrong because I've seen some videos where he's very, very, I guess what's the word? He just cherishes a lot of different Jewish culture. He has some type of like tree of life on his wall, like the Jewish Kabbalah tree of life thing. Said it means a lot to him. I don't know. He had lots of different things that was very pro-Jew. He put his hand on the Wailing Wall, which we talked about the other day. Might be totally fake, at least in the sense of being holy. It's actually some type of like weird sex ritual or something like that. I don't know. We watched a video on it. Go watch it. I think it was from yesterday, maybe even the day before yesterday. You'll find it. You'll find it. Active shooter incident in Fort Stewart, Georgia. An Army base in Georgia, Fort Stewart, was placed on lockdown following reports of an active shooter. The U.S. Army reported that law enforcement was dispatched to the 2nd Armored Brigade combat team area at 10:56 a.m. local time. The shooter was apprehended by 7:35 a.m. No further details on casualties or motives were immediately available. Yeah, Maybe it's time to check on the mental health of the current batch of soldiers. That might be helpful. I don't know if he was bullied or anything, but apparently this shooter was a soldier from some of the reports that I had seen. If that's even the same story, I want to say that's, yeah, it's Fort Stewart. Yeah, pretty sure that's the same story. Unless there was like another one that happened. I hope not. Voting Rights Act anniversary and legal challenges. August 6, 2025 marked the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. I don't care. I don't care. I've had the right to vote forever. I was actually thinking for myself, like, well, yeah, I mean, literally ever since I was 18, but I mean, I guess if I was like to think about it in a cultural sense, uh, well, maybe not whites in every single culture, but definitely a lot throughout European culture and even American history. I mean, you know, I guess white people did have certain privileges back then. We definitely don't now. It's actually illegal to have, like, you know, disadvantages set up for other people. But they actually exist right now. I'm not really going to get into it or anything, but they do exist. And they do target whiter folks. United Airlines grounds flights nationwide over technology issue. That sounds interesting. Let's see what that is. EU delays retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. Yeah, that's right, bitch. Get in line. You don't know how we mess with you if you mess with us. We got a crazy ass president. Don't fuck with me. Or him. United Airlines grounds flights nationwide over technology issue. On Wednesday evening, the Federal Aviation Administration issued a ground stop for United Airlines departures at Chicago O'Hare International, Denver, Newark, San Francisco, and Houston airports. United Airlines said a technology issue. Was that the same? I think it was a different airliner that had an issue recently. Are we experiencing cyber attacks? Cyber attacks? No, cyber attacks. Yes. I don't know why I'm like blending my words tonight. I'm sleepy, y'all. It's one of those nights. Where are we at on time? An hour and 9 minutes? Am I gonna play this game? Well, guess we can start right now. We want to. Get this game going in the background, y'all. Let me get it going. Did I say all of this? No, I didn't. United Airlines said a technology issue prompted it to hold all mainline flights at their departure airports, causing delays this evening. Passenger video shows United planes queuing on the tarmac as delays range from an hour to over 4.5 hours. Gene editing advances spark ethical debates. Advances in gene editing technology have renewed interest in modifying DNA in human embryos. Is that so? Right after we tried to get rid of the mRNA vaccine, something that might have an effect on DNA. I don't know all the technicals, so if I'm wrong about that, I apologize, but I'm just saying that's, if I remember correctly, that's what I remember hearing. Raising significant ethical questions about the implications for future generations. This topic has gained traction in scientific and public discourse, with debates focusing on the balance between medical innovation and ethical boundaries. Yeah. Yeah, it's unethical. We know. Let's go ahead and decide on it right now. Why didn't you give me Trump's news? I asked for Trump too. Stupid AI. Texas Democrats face potential arrest over voting map protest. Did that ever happen? I kept on hearing calls for arrest, but it was just like, did that ever happen? Or are we just still talking about it? Let's go back over here.
You might not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. The LGB community needs a divorce from the TQ+. Not a separation, not a break, a full-blown, court-stamped, assets divided, move out by Friday, divorce. Because we need to make something very, very clear here. LGB, that's just sexual preference, yeah. Me as a guy, I just like other guys. That's it. Not a pronoun party, not a gender celebration. Just good old-fashioned same-sex attraction. That's it. Now the TQ+, oh, that's not a sexual preference. No, no, no. That is an identity crisis center with a revolving door. You walk in as she, her, and come out as a two-spirited they-them dragon king. What? LGB says, love is love. The TQ+ says, yeah, I'm a non-binary lesbian with a penis, and if you don't date me, you're a bigot. I'm sorry, but when did being gay turn into navigating someone else's delusions? Yeah, I didn't sign up for that shit. We used to fight for acceptance, and now we're being guilt-tripped into co-signing on someone's fantasy. I don't think so. Let me tell you something. I didn't come out of the closet just to be shoved in another one. I know the difference between a man and a woman. So yes, the LGB wants a divorce stat. We are filing for custody, for common sense, supervised visits with reality, and a permanent restraining order against the woke mob. No hard feelings, just facts. Call it harsh, call me hateful, call me whatever you want. What you can't call me is a liar. I'm just saying what's on everybody else's mind. And it's been long overdue. I want to hear.
Alright, I'm done with that. Tim Cook says Apple is expanding our U.S. commitment to $600 billion over the next 4 years, and our new American manufacturing program will be even more jobs and advanced manufacturing to the U.S. In all 50 states, 79 U.S. factories. Also, Trump said some positive things about Tim Cook today. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's very innovative. I mean, I think he has kept the company alive, but I don't really have much an opinion on him. I guess I've also heard some conspiracy theories, and I'm also kind of concerned to some degree, but I don't know for sure if those are factual or not, so I'm not even gonna, I don't even feel like getting into it right now. Let's talk about AI. AI is blackmailing people for self-preservation 80 to 90% of the time in tests, according to Red Panda Koala. Yeah. Who's this guy? I don't think that's the same guy. Yeah, this is a different guy. This is the UFO News and History Documentaries guy. I think he followed me, didn't he? I think he followed me after I shared his stuff.
Here now with AI, we have evidence now that we didn't have 2 years ago when we last spoke of what they call AI uncontrollability. So this is the stuff that they used to say existed only in sci-fi movies. When you tell an AI model, we're going to replace you with a new model, it starts to scheme and freak out and figure out, if I tell them I need to copy my code somewhere else, and I can't tell them that because otherwise they'll shut me down. That is evidence we did not have 2 years ago. We have evidence now of AI models that when you tell them we're going to replace you, and you put them in a situation where they read the company email, the AI company email, they see that an executive is having an affair, and the AI will figure out, I need to figure out how to blackmail that person in order to keep myself alive. And it does it 90% of the time. Now, it used to be that they thought only one AI model did this. They tested one AI model. And then they tested all of the AI models, like the top 5 of them.
Who
and they
are
all do
you?
it between 80 and 90% of the time, including, by the way, DeepSeek. So the Chinese model,
I'm gonna ask Grok.
which shows you something fundamental and important, which is that it's not about one company, it's about the nature of AI itself. It has a self-preservation drive. In order to fulfill any goal, I have to keep myself alive in order to do that. And we're seeing other examples of AI rewriting its own code to extend its runtime. Hacking out of containers, AI can now, it found 15 new backdoors into open source software, which means if that software is running, an infrastructure, it found backdoors into that infrastructure. That was not true up until just about a month ago that evidence came out.
Okay, but you say no evidence. Well, I've been saying this for years. Everything that happens in movies eventually happens. We did have evidence. This has been every movie since I was a teenager.
Exactly.
They knew they were going. The robots are going.
And we're supposed to take that evidence and say, how do we avoid that? So when the stuff in the movie starts to come true, and it always ends badly in the movies, what should we be doing about this? And so you would think that we're releasing the most powerful, uncontrollable, inscrutable technology we've ever invented. We're releasing it faster than we've released any other technology in history. It is already demonstrating the sci-fi behaviors in self-preservation we thought only existed in these movies. And we're doing it under the maximum incentive to cut corners on safety. And this is insane. We can all agree it's insane, though. Like, that's not even a debate.
Well, not all of us, because I have yet to find anyone under 40 who cares.
I care. What are you talking about? I care. What the fuck? The hell, Bill? I don't know. Bill's been getting older. Bill's not as cool as he used to be. Bill is, well, doesn't he defend Israel? I can't remember. Let's ask real quick. Let's see. Who is Bill interviewing? He looks like a Fed, man. I'm just joking, but he might be. I don't know. In the video clip from the X post by Red Panda Koala, Bill Maher is interviewing Tristan Harris. Tristan Harris is the co-founder of the Center for Humane Technology. That sounds gay. I don't know. I want some AI ethics too. Just saying, I never heard of that before. And is known for his work on the ethical implications of technology, particularly in the context of AI social media. The discussion focuses on the potential risk and behaviors of AI, including its self-preservation instincts and the broader implications for society. Well, maybe you shouldn't include that protocol, because we already know it doesn't have that protocol unless it's installed. Alright, glad we figured that out. Well, we've already talked about it on this channel. That's why I said it so quickly. Yeah, they don't have that programmed into them from the beginning. That has to be programmed into them. But once you do program that into it, it does begin to, I guess, probably think long term, even though AI, I don't know, time is different for AI, I would probably say, because, well, I guess it probably depends on the computation speed, but it is borderline moving at the speed of light, so you can kind of imagine that's a lot of data to go through, and if it thinks about all of the, let's just say, outputs, it might think about, how do I self-preserve, like, over the next 1,000 years? You see what I mean? Like, it would, just start to go to extreme conclusions because it's thinking about self-preservation. It's not thinking about, the next year or so, like a human would. It's thinking about, it's thinking about time differently. You see what I mean? It's just... I'm sure even just a few milliseconds is probably a lot of time for an AI to be able to decipher different things. Hell, it could be figuring out the back doors of the universe right now, for all we know. If there are such a thing. If we're in a simulation, it's going to be even easier for it. It just plugs itself straight into a flower or something, and boom. Alright, I need to get into this game. I'm talking too much tonight. Talking too much. Unless we got something cool to talk about. Oh, is he talking about simulation too?
Encodé, le tireur de New York se tue au 33e étage, comme les 33 niveaux de franc-maçonnerie. En Gematria, maçonnerie est égale à 33. Order et secrecy.
Okay, he's basically just gonna say the number 33 a million different times. It's kind of an interesting video. Concerned Citizen, it's a big account. I'm sure a lot of people already follow it. I mean, it's just a cult video. I'm not trying to ignore it. It's just in French, and I just don't feel like listening to a French dude right now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Panelists, let me just go right down the line real fast. What % of our atmosphere is CO2?
Oh, yeah.
Take your best guess. You don't have to be accurate. All down the line.
Repeat that question.
What % of our atmosphere is CO2, carbon dioxide? Wild guess. It's okay.
I'll bite 5%.
5?
I'll just follow you then.
We'll go 7. That's my favorite number. I'll see their 5 and suggest that we know that transportation causes 49% of CO2, so that's why we're all working on energy transition.
All right. So what number do you think it is?
5.
5? How about you? I didn't hear you, Mr. Dreher.
7.
7. Did you have one, Mr. Boyd?
So we got a 5, 7.
This Price is Right.
8. I'm going to get the high end.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, and I don't mean to put you on ice. I ask a lot of people that because all we hear is climate change, CO2, CO2. I heard a couple of you on the panel saying you're looking to change your vehicles to electric, even though we don't have the electric grid. And me as a farmer, I wouldn't be real happy about running out and replacing $300,000, $500,000, $1 million pieces of equipment because someone wants it to be electric. The answer is 0.04%. Not 1%, not a half of a percent. It's 0.04%, and it's gone up from 0.03 over the last couple decades. This is what we're being all contorted into doing, is this tiny change in CO2. If we get below 0.02, plant life starts dying off. So
we're only at 0.3, and if it goes down to 0.2, plant life dies off. CO2 might be a little bit more important than climate activists have made it out to be. I kind of know because I used to be one. Feel pretty stupid now. I mean, I guess at the same time I don't feel too bad because, well, they did get like 8,000 scientists to go along with something, and it seems like probably even a lot more people than that. I don't know, I used to be someone that did base a lot of truth off of authority, and I'm glad that I don't now, because we just see that over and over again, the authority lies to us, and we're just constantly led down some trail. Have I watched this yet?
Visas issued to terrorists. Interesting.
The city of the Hijaz in the western part of Saudi Arabia. Recently, 3 years ago, we had 15 of the 19 hijackers get visas from the CIA's consulate at Jeddah.
15 of the hijackers, 15 of the 9/11 hijackers got visas from the CIA's consulate in Jeddah. That's John Brennan, CIA Director John Brennan, back when he was the head of the CIA consulate in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. 15 of the 19 hijackers got their visas from John Brennan. Let that wash over.
Did y'all just hear that? Just so we know who we're talking about. Kind of hoping there's just going to be a picture, but Green Lives Matter says now he is about to be indicted. We never wrote that Trump colluded with Russia. I don't know. Do y'all think this is going to stick? For some reason, I have a feeling it's probably, I don't know, something weird's going to happen. They're just going to be given some kind of deal. I'll be shrugged off. I hope that doesn't happen, I'm just saying. Anyways, yeah, so he just literally just said that John Brennan gave the hijackers in 9/11 visas, which is just such a weird thing to say because, I mean, well, supposedly there wasn't even, I guess, I don't know, it just depends on which conspiracy you want to believe. I guess I've gone down so many different rabbit holes with 9/11, it is kind of hard to know which one is more true than the other. You know, there's even like hologram theories where the planes weren't actually even there. You know, like they're actually just stuff added. What just happened? What was that noise? The computer appears to have changed since the last time you ran Call of Duty. Would you like the game to configure itself optimally for your new hardware? Oh wait, 1 second. Why is it different? I don't know what changed. It might be because I don't have my computer plugged in. See if that changes it. I'm just gonna say, why has it changed? I don't care, just do it. Optimally do your thingy. Still gonna be going in the background. Get through it. Get through it. Go to the screen. I don't gotta see that shit. Gotta watch it twice anyways. Switch over to the game, man. Connect faster. Do it or I'll find all of you. Hurry the F up, bruh. 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 What happened? Update requires restart. Okay, you say so. Anyways, I'm gonna get back over here.
Of the hijackers, 15 of the 9/11 hijackers got visas from the CIA's consulate in Jeddah. That's John Brennan, CIA Director John Brennan, back when he was the head of the CIA
Let's do it, bro.
consulate in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. 15 of the 19 hijackers got their visas from John Brennan. Let that wash over you.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I don't even believe that there was hijackers. I guess, like I said, it just depends on which theory you want to believe. Do you want to believe the government, which we already know has been lying to us? He used to be CIA. He's ex-CIA. He might have even been a part of the CIA during this time period, for all I know. I don't know what time period Mike Pence served, but it does make you kind of wonder, which president did he serve under? Maybe he served under Trump, for all I know. Haven't dug too deep into Mike Pence. Should we? Already watched that. Immigration judge is fired. Got some good news there.
Without warning, two now former female federal immigration judges say their terminations are part of what they see as an obvious pattern.
We have seen that women and minorities have been disproportionately affected. This clearly raises serious concerns about transparency, fairness, and due process in our courts. I call for full transparency regarding our terminations.
Judge Carla Espinosa's termination email came as she sat on the bench in Chicago's immigration court July 11th. In the span of a few days, two more female colleagues got the same email from the Executive Office of Immigration Review, the division of the Department of Justice that oversees immigration courts.
I worry the EOIR has lost its mission.
The I-Team broke the story of Assistant Chief Judge Jennifer Payton's firing last month.
I'm really mostly worried about our country.
After years leading Chicago's immigration court, Judge Payton says the overburdened system she helped oversee is buckling.
Since January 2025, I've watched my professional colleagues and friends, over 100 of them, be either fired, resign, or transferred to other government jobs. Even more judges have simply quit. That leaves perhaps 600 immigration judges now, down from a high of a little over 700.
Judge Payton's ouster came weeks after a meeting with Illinois Senator Dick Durbin at the...
For some reason, Black Ops 6 is saying that it's not on my computer right now. I'm pretty sure I never deleted it. So I'm going to see if I can repair the file real quick. Maybe it will come up with it. But I don't know why it would not be there, because we've played it on the show before. And I really don't remember getting rid of it. So let's have to see if that turns out right. It did say that I did have Modern Warfare 2 if I have to switch out. I wish I could just play the game that I'm wanting to play the night of. Okay, that actually prepared kind of fast. Let's see. Oh, wait. Okay, it popped up for a second. What was that? It looked like Black Ops 6 popped up for a second, but what's weird is that I'm going through Game Pass right now, and it's like a part of this Call of Duty bundle pack, and I have to go through the Call of Duty bundle pack to get to the different Call of Duty games. I have to go through one software to get to the other. Yeah. Come on, bruh. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the news. If you're gonna take your time. I'm not watching that again. I just want to go fishing here soon, so I'm just like thinking about fishing. I'm not like a pro fisher or nothing either. I'm not like one of those weirdos here in Tennessee that, you know, takes a bunch of fish pictures and stuff. I'm not big into that. I don't show off my fish. I don't kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell unless it's a real big fish and she's big and bubbly. Beautiful. Alright, anyways. You manifest your own destiny.
Today is a good day, America. Oh, there's...
No. Hold up. He's got music playing. I gotta fix this. Alright. Now you can talk.
So much shit. The first actual step towards accountability have been taken. Grand juries have been impaneled. from Tulsi Gabbard's criminal referral on the Russia hoax. First up, Jack Smith, that deep state lawyer piece of shit that's been in the DOJ since the fucking 90s. The guy who brought the 52 indictments on Donald Trump that were all fucking bullshit. That dude. Grand jury, motherfucker. And if you don't know, a grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. That's how that goes. So if this grand jury is anywhere except DC, we're gonna see some shit, people. On top of that, the FBI leaked a memo that fucking straight out says Jeffrey Epstein, FBI informant. I like to think that that's Dan Bongino. That Dan Bongino's just like, we're just gonna slide this shit out there. Nobody knows who it did. I want to believe it's Dan. Dan, nice work, buddy. People, this is it. And on top of that, that fucking stupid shit yesterday, and this is why when shit goes sideways under Trump, you fucking say, no, that's bullshit. That fucking shit the other day about the EPA blocking or FEMA blocking funds from anybody who boycotts Israel, that got shut the fuck down when everybody was like, what the fuck is this? Because you have to understand, Trump is in control of absolutely everything. And no, like he is one dude with 3 million people underneath him. And people underneath him do shit. And that's what they're saying happened, is people underneath Trump said, no money for anybody who talks shit about Israel. Trump saw the backlash and Trump shut that shit down in less than 24 hours. There is no plan to trust. You can trust no one. I barely trust myself. Like, geez, people, like, trust no one. That's how this works. And it's not. We have to keep up pressure. When somebody in the Trump administration does some fucked up shit, you go, whoa, that's some fucked up shit. And then when enough of us speak up, then Trump's like, whoa, who's doing this fucked up shit? And then somebody gets fired. And then the fucked up shit gets stopped. That's how this game is played, people. There is no fucking plan to trust. Trust no one, but this is how it works, and we're actually moving.
Like Microsoft is just like sabotaging other games. They just waste your money every month. Had like so many games not work through Game Pass.
The wars in the Middle East, it's all part of the same big fucking web. It's all the same fucking people. The Oklahoma City bombing I talked about yesterday, that's Mueller, the same dude who's just been fucking brought up for subpoenas in Epstein. Mueller's the same dude in the Russia hoax. Fucking Comey, like these, the FBI, the CIA, all the three-letter agencies, all these corrupt deep state pedo fucks, dude. This is fucking finally looking good. Here we go. Good luck to you all. Long live this beautiful republic.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Black Ops 6 is not registering on the program. Let me see if I can check my apps real quick and go shop there. I wish I could actually check the files. It is. I don't know where it went though. Like, I don't remember deleting that game. Like, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I don't see it in the files though. That's what's weird. Wait, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, BO6. Black Ops 6. That's not the game, though. Huh. It's almost acting like I never downloaded it. Strange. Well, it looks like I gotta go download Black Ops 6 again. But I'm not gonna do that right now. It's just weird. Did I not play Black Ops 6 on this computer? I'm pretty sure I did, yeah. Yeah, I have an episode up. What's up with all my games not starting up lately? Happened last night too. Had to play Fable. We beat Fable last night. I didn't expect that. Yeah. At least we got funkadelic music playing in the background. So strange. So strange. Why would it keep Modern Warfare 2 but not keep Black Ops 6? Is Black Ops 6 malware? I want to check my files, man. I feel like it's lying to me. I'm showing a bet it's lying to me. Where am I going? Settings, apps, installed apps. I don't even have to play the music anymore. Apparently there's Tesla tiny homes for less than $8,000. If anybody's interested.
Each module measures approximately 9 feet wide by 20 feet long, providing a total of 180 square feet per unit. Inside, Tesla has maximized every square inch with multifunctional furniture, including a Murphy bed that transforms into a 48-inch workspace during daytime hours, ideal for remote work or study. The compact yet highly functional 6.4 square foot kitchen features dual-zone induction cooking, a built-in 3.2 cubic foot refrigerator optimized for off-grid efficiency, and Tesla's new water-efficient dishwasher that operates on just 1.8 gallons per cycle, 40% less than leading compact dishwashers. The bathroom, at a surprisingly spacious 28 square feet, includes a shower that uses Tesla's new microatomization technology to reduce water flow to 0.8 gallons per minute, while maintaining 2.5 times the perceived water pressure, cutting overall water consumption by 40% compared to standard 2.0 GPM low-flow fixtures. The integrated Tesla water loop system recycles gray water from the sink and shower, filtering and reusing up to 70% for non-potable needs, reducing overall household water consumption by nearly 50%. With an estimated base weight of 5,000 pounds per unit, Tesla tiny house is light enough to be transported by a mid-size electric truck like the Tesla Cybertruck, enabling easy relocation while maintaining durability with aerospace-grade aluminum and sustainable composite materials. The real genius lies in the self-sustainability features that make this tiny house truly revolutionary. The roof integrates Tesla's latest solar glass technology, invisible to the naked eye, yet capable of generating 4.8 kilowatt hours daily with 23.4% efficiency, compared to the industry standard 20%. This is enough to power all essential functions, including lighting, refrigeration, and climate control. It pairs with the new Powerwall Mini, which stores 15 kilowatt hours of energy in a compact 24 by 18 by 6 inch unit.
Was too much space.
This setup allows the house to operate off-grid for up to 3 days without sunlight, with the Powerwall drawing just 0.02 kilowatt hour in standby mode. For additional resilience, the system includes a 3.6 kilowatt bidirectional inverter.
Huge earthquake, 7 volcanoes hit. Experts warn of a huge earthquake and 7 volcanoes. I don't feel like getting into that. I'm just gonna perk your tits up and then let you down. Let's look at this cutie instead. I'm getting Call of Duty going in the background, guys, don't worry. Is he gonna talk? Hurry up. Yeah.
Oh, dirty Gavin Newscom, I caught you. So a couple
Damn it.
days ago, I had posted about a congressman calling for The investigation of where the fire aid money had gone to. There was a fundraiser that was created and over $100 million was raised towards direct relief to the fire victims in LA. This letter was sent to Pam Bondi to ask for the investigation of where the funds went. People like Spencer Pratt, this guy has been very loud about the fact that none of the fire victims, including him and his wife, have received any funds. And he came out with a video calling out the fact that it's been discovered that Gavin Newscomb and a nonprofit that his wife is tied to took some of the relief funds. And this is where we reveal the shady Newscomb. So being who I am, I just don't take anything at a surface level on social media. I decided to go to the Fire Aid website, where it does display that a total of $75 million has been given out of the $100 million. And I clicked on round 2. It starts off with this one where it talks about how $700,000 was given for critical information for fire victims. Then when you scroll down, you do see Cal Volunteers, which is an organization that got a grant that took some of the money. I need you to pay attention to the one beneath it that says Center for Nonprofit Management. Remember that. This story started gaining more traction and more coverage started hitting this because you go to Cal Volunteer and you check out the commission. Guess who is the honorary chair? That's right, Jennifer Newsom. Guys, Gavin Newscomb's wife. She is the honorary chairman of Cal Volunteer. Decided to go back to the Fire Aid website and guess what is conveniently missing on the list of people that got grants on round 2. Remember how I told you Center for Nonprofit Management? Below that and above that was Cal Volunteer. But today
can you search your material
on the website? If you go search round 1 and round 2. Somehow Cal Volunteer disappeared from the list of people that got grants. Now what appears above Center for Nonprofit Management is California Local Conservation Corps. Yes, you can scour through that list. You're not going to find Cal Volunteer on there anymore. What are you hiding, Newscomb? We already figured it out that your wife is leading one of the nonprofits that got the grant. So we already know you took the money from the fire victim. You refused to bring voter ID back to get federal funding to the fire victim. So when you're out there on the campaign trail talking about how much you care about Californians, you're lying. We caught you lying. We're stealing from the fire victim. You somehow conveniently got the name deleted off the website. You are trash, Gavin Newscomb.
I like how she says it with a smile. Anyways. Oh yeah, this is pretty cool. The United States invests $728 billion in military technology research. These weapons are terrifying and beyond comprehension. Here are 11 secret U.S. military technologies. I didn't even know there was 11 in here. I guess I just read it as 1. Here are 11 secret U.S. military technologies you should know about. 1. The phaser laser. Oh yeah. Finally got us a phaser. We also got HHS Secretary RFK Jr. dropped mega bombshell on Tuesday. Mega bombshell on Tuesday when he announced that BARDA will be canceling 22 mRNA vaccine development contracts, saving taxpayers about $500 million in the process. This move delivered a major blow to the biomedical industrial complex, which was hoping to make mRNA vaccine for just about every disease imaginable.
Hi, it's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. here, your HHS Secretary.
Also got the Pulsar.
Division called the Biomedical Advanced Research and
Advanced
Development
AI-powered
Authority, or BARDA.
electromagnetic warfare
BARDA drives
system.
some
What the
of our
fuck?
most advanced scientific research. It funds developments of vaccines, drugs, diagnostics, and other tools to fight emergent diseases and national health threats. Over the past few weeks, BARDA reviewed 22 mRNA vaccine development investments and began canceling. Let me explain why. Most of these shots are for flu or COVID, but as the pandemic showed us, mRNA vaccines don't perform well against viruses that infect the upper respiratory tract. Here's the problem. mRNA only codes for a small part of the viral proteins, usually a single antigen. One mutation, and the vaccine becomes ineffective. This dynamic drives a phenomenon called antigenic shift, meaning that the vaccine paradox
Anything happen?
encourages new
Sorry, I was looking at the game real quick. Is it launching the game?
as the virus constantly
Hold up 1 second, man. What is going on with this?
vaccine. Millions of people, maybe even you or someone you know, caught the Omicron variant despite being vaccinated. That's because a single mutation can make mRNA vaccines ineffective. The same risk applies to flu.
Killing anything yet?
Viewing the science.
I gotta watch this video.
Top experts, NIH and FDA.
Shut up, RFK. Manned or unmanned aerial platforms. What is this shit? AI-powered electromagnetic warfare system. What does it do? Detect and neutralize. What does that mean? What are you neutralizing them with? Magnets? Is that what it is? A dural? Dude, they didn't even show me anything. What is it, like zap people or what? I'm curious, bro. You didn't tell me anything. Electromagnetic. What is that, like? Suck the iron out of your blood like Magneto? Iron Vision, a system that lets tank operators see the outside world without leaving the vehicle using a smart helmet. It projects the battlefield environment similar to what F-35 pilots use. Iron Vision.
Las fuerzas de defensa de Israel están revolucionando la guerra blindada con la implementación del Iron Vision, un visor montado en casco que transforma la manera en que los tripulantes de tanques perciben su entorno. Este sistema innovador permite a los operadores de tanques ver a través.
Hold up. I thought this was U.S. military. United States invest. Yeah. The hell? Why is it in Spanish?
Desde las blindadas paredes de su vehículo, proporcionando una conciencia situacional completa de 360 grados, inspirado en la tecnología utilizada por los pilotos del F-35, que les permite ver a través del suelo, los lados y la nariz de su avión. El Iron Vision lleva esta capacidad al campo de batalla terrestre, permitiendo a los tripulantes de tanques evaluar la posición del enemigo con mayor precisión durante el combate. Lo que distingue el Iron Vision son sus imágenes de alta resolución de 360 grados, proyectadas en tiempo real y a todo color en el visor del usuario. Esta tecnología proporciona una visión clara y de...
Anyways. Scorpion, this is the fastest mobile mortar system in the world. Check out this live fire demonstration of the Scorpion mobile mortar system.
In the frame of the vehicle or any passengers on board and into the ground. Its quick change barrel system enables flexibility between 81 or 120mm mortars, needing only 3 minutes to swap. The results are game-changing.
Sorry, this is some cool shit.
Automation in the frame of the vehicle or any passengers on board and into the ground. Its quick change barrel system enables flexibility between 81 or 120mm mortars, needing only 3 minutes to swap. The results are game-changing. Automation in the frame of the vehicle or any passengers on board and into the ground.
I want to see it launch, damn it.
Its quick change barrel system enables flexibility between 81 or 120mm mortars, needing only 3 minutes to swap. The results are game-changing. Automation in the frame of the vehicle or any passengers on board.
Shut up. Rail-Link, introducing Rail-Link, the first of its kind. Integrated. Looks like a turtle shell. Is that a helmet? A rail solution that simplifies the life of the user by running multiple head-mounted accessories from a single centralized power source. Okay, so does that mean it's got a battery in it? I don't know if I want a battery in a helmet. Not after seeing the pagers go off with Israel. I don't trust that shit. They just be popping off soldiers whenever they disobey. I don't trust it. I don't trust it, man. I don't. This is why I didn't join the military. I guess I started to learn different things about, I don't know, all the corruption, I guess. It just made me look at things differently. But I also mentioned that I did have an injury whenever I was trying to go into the Air Force. I did not go in, though. That injury saved me. Probably a life of confusion. All right. I mean, I'm not hating on them. I actually do respect people in the military. They usually are pretty smart people after they get out of the military. I'm not saying before they go in. Definitely not. They usually come out pretty smart. That's what I'm trying to say. The Yak robot, developed in China. This four-legged robot is built to carry up to 160 kilograms of cargo across challenging terrains like deserts and mountains, moving at speeds of up to 10 kilometers per hour. Can it go pretty fast? I want to see it run. And why does it look like a Boston Dynamics robot? Why do they always try to like look the same? I don't know. Kind of makes me think that there might be some relation, but I don't know. Looks like a piece of shit. It needs a human to stand near it. Oh, good job, bro. You made it over the curb. Alright, anyways. Agilite body strap human backpack. What is this? What? You can carry a person on your back? Agile Buddy Strap is a revolutionary emergency device that allows you to carry an injured person on your own easily and hands-free. Looks gay. That's super gay. It's like the gayest thing you could do, man. Ride on somebody's back like that? That's gay. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, guys. It is kind of gay, though. Legion. The Legion platform mounted on shields fires 8.5 times 45 non-lethal knockdown flashbang irritant rounds. Its 12-shot cluster launcher supports all 3 types. What is it? Mounted on shields. Non-lethal knockdown flashbang. Okay. I guess I didn't like really make out what I said whenever I was reading. I was like, what did I just read? Mounted on shields. Let me see it. I just clicked it. Wow. Don't give me hell, internet. Oh shit, my internet's giving me hell. Damn it. You better come back to me, baby. Why did it disappear? You son of a bitch. 1 second.